Excellent season. He's taken a lot of pressure off the Hawk defense because he moves the puck so well.
Anticipation. Boy, there is all sorts of anticipation here tonight. Quickly, Dale. Can they at all come close to matching their last meeting?
I certainly hope so, and I would say yes. The North Stars really would like to prove to the Chicago Blackhawks that they can win on the road. They've won successfully on home ice, only losing 6 games at home. But they want to prove to the Blackhawks that they can win because this is going to be the story. The Blackhawks will have home ice advantage in that 4-7 quarterfinal round if they do happen to meet.
Well, certainly the Minnesota North Stars are listening now as the crowd jumps to its feet. Why not? The Chicago Blackhawks coming up the stairs. Here they are.
I think it means a little bit to both clubs. We'd like to continue the fact that we can play well against the Blackhawks and beat them again in here and establish in their mind that we're a good team.
There he is. Murray Oliver took over from Glenn Sonmore during the season, and he is really a player who didn't play with a lot of emotion. And I'll tell you something, who knows what will happen next week when the playoffs begin here, but you can't get a more charged atmosphere than this.
If this doesn't put a chill down the back of your spine and there's something wrong with you, you have no emotions. Never have I heard a crowd give such an ovation. In a beginning of a hockey game like this, the Blackhawks, if you're feeling down and low, you're going to be pumped up and ready to go on that first shift.
Well, we're very much ready to go. The rookie coach of the Hawks, who has led them to a 100-point season for the first time since the 73-74 campaign. Well, there have been few NHL seasons here in the Windy City like this historic 82-83 season. And it's come down now to the final 3 games. Tonight here, the Hawks and the North Stars. Saturday night, the Hawks at St. Louis, probably their first round playoff foe. And then it'll all conclude here Sunday night with the Blues and the Blackhawks. Now, the national anthem from the stadium.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
The referee is Bruce Hood, the linesman Ryan Bozak, and Ron Finn. And in goal tonight for Minnesota, Gilles Malone.
The veteran, 32-year-old goaltender from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, probably wouldn't be playing if this was for first place because Beaupre has been the stopper in the last 3 contests between these 2 hockey teams. And there's Murray Bannerman. Look at his tremendous record. The Blackhawks, with the only tandem in goaltending with both of them, have over 20 victories.
And the discussion already at center ice. The 2 captains, Greg Hartsburg of the North Stars, Darryl Sutter of the Blackhawks, with the the veteran referee, Bruce Hood. It was Brian Lewis, another veteran referee from the NHL who was in charge of things and almost had it get out of hand 9 nights ago in Minnesota.
Oh, I'm sure he just wants to warn them that he's going to be calling everything and he will not stand for any nonsense. As I mentioned earlier, whenever you come off a game such as the 7th game between these two teams where we had a 50-minute brawl, oftentimes we have hardly any penalties called at all in the hockey game because there's tremendous respect on both parts.
Well, fasten your seat belts. We've left the runway. We're in the air and ready to fly high. Roberts knocks down the initial shot. Bob Murray a try wide. The puck behind the Minnesota net. Jordy Roberts plays it up to Flett, and his pass comes to center ice. McCarthy plays it to Neil Brodney. Backhands it through the goalmouth area. Maxwell sweeps it behind the net. Trying to center and getting it in front is McCarthy, and the shot, the save by Murray Bannerman.
It's going to be a physical game. The Blackhawks coming out with a couple of good checks right off the bat. Secord a good hard check on Roberts in the corner, and the tiny Dennis Savard throwing his weight on against Willie Plett.
And the first appearance of number 20 in green, Dino Ciccarelli, in his 3rd year in the NHL. Ciccarelli on a line with Bobby Smith at center. The Hawks with Wysiak, Preston, Sutter, Fox, and Crossman. Now Ciccarelli skating in the circle. He'll change places with Ron Freese. Roberts and Maxwell on the points for the North Stars. Just underway, the game 30 seconds old. Fox takes the puck from Crossman. Headmans to Lysiak. He slips, still with the puck in. Preston against Roberts. And the muscular North Stars defenseman gets position. Now Fox throws his weight into Freese. The puck on the stick of Bobby Smith. Trying to twist Crossman. He can't. In front to Ciccarelli, and a penalty coming up to Rich Preston as he interferes with Dino Ciccarelli. Live from Chicago Stadium, this is the NHL.
Whether you have one room or the entire house to paint, you can do it.
Puck as Bobby Smith tried to feed a nice soft dump pass out in front. With Ciccarelli dumped to the ice and a call by Hood. We should see a lot of penalties called early in this hockey game to set the pace. The referee wants to be in control.
Tim Young at the point to Bellows behind the net. Wilson can't clear it, comes in front, and the North Stars shoot and fail to hit the net as Brian Bellows missed a wide open goal. Here's Gardner. Bill Gardner, a shot and a save by Joe Melange. Now Bobby Smith on center during this Minnesota power play leaves the puck for Tim Young. He's on 1 point. Brad Maxwell is on the other. The puck comes around behind the Hawks net, and here's Rick Patterson with it. It's Gardner, Patterson, Bob Murray, and Wilson killing the penalty. Patterson doing a good job killing time. 1:20 to go, and the penalty to Rich Preston. Now the Hawks will send Marsh out for Gardner. Young up to Bellows, the sensational North Stars rookie, on to Bobby Smith. Back to Bellows. Here's Maxwell at the point. The puck caroms off a Hawk player and ends up on the stick of Smith. Maxwell at the point. The shot. The deflection by Payne off the glass. Bellows steering the puck ahead for Smith. Fine with Bob Murray, and it's Peter Mars to dump the puck to center ice. It gets by Maxwell. Patterson after the puck ends up with it. Still has control to Mars. The shot. Now it's Patterson as Young blocked the first effort. Coming up against Minnesota, and Steve Payne can't believe the call by Bruce Hood as this crowd comes to its feet.
Blackhawks almost scoring their 3rd shorthanded goal of the year. Some excellent work by Patterson and Marsh, and then Patterson finally pulled to the ice by Steve Payne right in front of Bruce Hood in behind the North Star net.
Now both teams will be a man short. Preston with 37 seconds to go in his penalty. His penalty at the 55-second mark. Now Payne will go off here at 2:18 in the first period. Boy, a rousing start here in the much anticipated matchup.
Here's the penalty call right there. The North Stars get a 4-minute penalty. Payne must get 2 more for unsportsmanlike because he didn't go straight to the penalty box.
Bruce Hood tacking on 2 more, and the crowd loves it. 37 seconds from now, the Blackhawks will have a power play of almost 3.5 minutes as Eaves and Lysiak are waved down.
Good call by Hood. That the rule stipulates that you must go straight to the penalty box. Even if you do argue the call, you must continue on in a non-stop motion to the box.
At the point box, the shot as both teams play a man short is wide. Crossman behind the net for Sutter to Lysiak. He can't get a stick on the puck. Here's the veteran North Star, George Ferguson. Over on the left wing to Randy Valashek. In front to Eaves, and the shot deflects high into the crowd.
We look at the veteran George Ferguson picked up in a trade from the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Penguins giving up their first-round draft choice, along with Ferguson, for Hawkinson. Now the North Stars, it looks like they're going to get first or second pick overall. Last year they did some jockeying for position to pick up Brian Bellows. Now they're going to get another good draft.
Both teams playing a man short. There's no score very early in the game at Chicago Stadium. Ken Wilson with Dale Talon. Lysiak against Eaves. Sutter steers the puck to Wilson. This is Doug Wilson. 5 seconds away from a Hawk power play. Crossman rushing to center ice. Around Mandich. Crossman with a puck to Lysiak. Preston is back on the pass for Sutter, knocked away. Mandich hits his own man Ferguson, and the Hawks control in their own zone. A power play for Chicago for 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Sutter ahead to Crossman on the near wing. Here's Dennis Savard backing in. Look at the move. Savard looking in front. Puts on the brakes. Poke check by Young, and Larmer takes on a man. Savard to Secord. Young gets the puck away. Mandich and Young can't decide who'll go to the corner. Wilson comes up. And the puck slapped off the boards down the ice. Crossman skates back for it. Approaching the 4-minute mark in the opening period, the Hawks and North Stars, 0-0. This is Doug Wilson. Shooting the puck in. Malage lets it go. Here's Larmer with it. Steve Larmer. Everyone goes the other way. Back to Savard. Coming in front. Dennis Savard. He shoots. He scores on the rebound. And the Hawks take a 1-0 lead.
A nice back behind the net pass off the backboards from Larmer to Savard. Savard with all kinds of time on his forehand on the short side. Larmer with a backhand pass off the backboards. Perfect bank to Savard. Makes a little move there. Gets the first shot away and then follows up to put his own rebound in for his 34th goal of the year.
What a job by Secord in front.
There's a key factor. Interference in front on the defenseman, allowing Savard to come in from the short side.
34th goal of the year for the young, sensational Hawk center, Dennis Savard. Now it's Bob Murray. Still 1:50 to go in the Steve Payne penalty. The Hawks with a great opportunity to get a pair here. Bob Murray from Lysiak. Ooh, the pad save. Lysiak stopped by Malage, who makes back-to-back saves on the Hawks. Wilson neatly to Preston. Sutter and Lysiak in front. Wilson the drive. And that gets Malage ducking a bit as it sails over his head. Bellows and Wilson race after the puck, and Wilson ends up with it. The Hawks lead it 1-0. They still have a man advantage. Preston drives the puck in. Here's Darryl Sutter looking to center, and it's intercepted by Bellows on a good defensive play. Bellows with some fine anticipation ahead to Young, who pokes the puck to the side of the Chicago net. We've played 4 minutes, 55 seconds in the first period, and the Hawks lead it 1-0 on a Dennis Savard goal. 55 seconds remaining in the Hawk power play. Darryl Sutter into the corner, stopped by Ferguson. Crossman to drive wide. Here's Bob Murray. He stops the puck. Crossman straight away. The save, the shot by Savard. And somehow Malage recovers to make the save on the rebound. Here's Larmer into the corner to Savard. Trying to get it back to Larmer, stopped by Maxwell. Half a minute in Payne's penalty remaining. This is George Ferguson. He'll look back towards his own zone to Maxwell, and he flips the puck in. And this is Bob Murray. to Savard. He has to wait for Secord, who had moved into the Minnesota zone. Crossman to Bob Murray. Oh, what a fine year Bob Murray has had. On to Secord. Here's Crossman. Back to Secord. And in front. And no shot as the pass stayed on the stick of Secord and the drive by Crossman. Now back at full strength, the North Stars. This is Payne just out of the penalty box. O'Callaghan had a shot right on. Meloche the save. Hawks lead it 1-0. A frantic pace as the puck knocks Flett off his skates. Brad Maxwell follows up, shoots the puck in the corner, and a drive by McCarthy rejected by the Hawks. And a chance for Roberts. He falls down but plays the puck to Flett, and it goes back to Hartsburg, up to Roberts. Minnesota with a puck. They have not maintained control that much here in the first 6 minutes, 35 seconds. Neil Broughton can't get around Dave Beamster, and Al Secord barrels down the wing. Secord carrying the puck, trying to get around Hartsburg. He can't, and Meloche plays it into the corner where Hartsburg and Secord are down. This is Ludzik, and the puck carries off the glass into the crowd. And from Chicago Stadium, the Hawks lead it 1-0. Check, but he fights on. Fraser tries to center and can't. Now Ludzik, who's played super hockey the last few weeks of the season, knocked off balance by Smith, and Bruce Hood, the referee, stops play.
Ludzik with 4 goals in 4 straight hockey games. He and Fraser have had a variety of right wingers. They've had Patterson, they've had Marsh, Higgins, and they've had Dennis Sear.
Steve Ludzik at New Brunswick with Orville Tessier a season ago. And his line will go off to be replaced by Marsh on the left wing, Gardner at center, and Patterson on the right wing.
There's Dino Ciccarelli back on the right side. 3-game suspension. It was his first game back after suffering that suspension. Last night he played against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And the Maple Leafs won at Minnesota, ending a 5-game home ice win streak for the North Stars. Here's Mandich, the rookie from Ohio State, off the skate of Freeze. And Bannerman has to play it, no icing. Crossman to Marsh, ahead to Gardner, 2-on-1. A shot. Wow, what a great save by Gilles Meloche on Bill Gardner with only one man back, defenseman Kurt Giles.
Again, we see a hot goaltender against the Blackhawks. We haven't seen too many bad goaltenders all year. 2-on-1 situation. Meloche comes down to cut the angle. Look what I found. A reflex-type save. The shot hitting him right in the glove. Look at that great camera angle from in behind. Meloche just snaring that wicked shot by Gardner.
32-year-old Gilles Meloche, 20 wins, 12 losses, 11 ties this season, 3.46 his goals against average. 7:35 gone first period. Hawks power play goal, the only marker thus far at 3:57. Wilson and Larmer assist on the 31st goal of the season, the 34th for Dennis Savard. Will have the face-off all over again near the Minnesota net. Penalties thus far. Preston went off for interference at 55 seconds while he was in the penalty box. Steve Payne picked up a holding penalty and also a 2-minute minor for unsportsmanlike conduct. Wilson shot knocked down, played by Gordy Roberts. His pass between Maxwell and Bellows, and it's Wilson ahead to Lysiak with a nice soft touch. On to Preston, the pass behind him, Payne back. Forced behind his net by Preston, and then Maxwell pokes the puck on the near wing to Bellows. Lysiak knocks that effort down and gets the puck right back. Over to Wilson. Wilson, Bob Murray, Lysiak, Preston, and Sutter on the ice for the Norris Division champion Blackhawks. And a fight breaks out at center ice. The fight breaking out at center ice right in front of the Minnesota bench. Bob Murray skating by as Preston gets involved with Gordy Roberts.
Roberts came across and took the man in front of the North Stars bench. Preston got a stick and glove up into his face against Roberts, and Roberts dropped his gloves and started giving it to Preston.
No love lost between these two teams. What an incredible rivalry. And the early going in the first period tonight has been all you would expect coming off that great game in Minnesota 9 nights ago. The Blackhawks' next home game coming up on Sunday against the St. Louis Blues. It'll be the 80th game of the regular season, the finale. Tickets at Ticketron by calling Teletron. And at the Chicago Stadium box office, you can use your Visa or MasterCard to purchase Blackhawk tickets. Remember, 1,000 seats will be on sale here at the stadium 1 hour before Sunday's game. And the Stanley Cup playoffs first round action begins right here next Wednesday night.
Here we get a look at how it results. Bob Murray coming up from his defense position, but the whistle had blown as soon as he touched the puck when the altercation occurred between both benches.
Each 2-minute eye-sticking penalties and 5-minute fighting penalties. Roberts of Minnesota, Preston of Chicago at 8:07. And Bruce Hood is like that strict first or second grade teacher you had who wants to lay down the law early. Payne tries to center, and the puck deflects to center ice. Randy Velishek is backboard on defense with Hartsburg. Both teams playing it at full strength, just losing the services of the two players involved in the altercation. Seacourt's pass through the slot area. Larmer takes out Payne. Good check by Savard. In front to Seacourt, back to Savard, over to Larmer. Too well covered by Payne. Plenty of time. Bob Murray shot knocked down. Payne trying to spring Young loose, but Wilson is back. On his backhand, not much from Young. Wilson takes Young out. Scramble for the puck. Seacourt gets it, and the crowd loves it as Young goes down, and they like it even more as Savard gets the puck. Dennis Savard, the old spinneroo, but loses it to Velishek. Ahead to Young, trying to sidestep O'Callahan. He can, and the North Stars are offside.
Blackhawk fans cheering at every instant. Every little thing the Blackhawks do, they get riled up about Doug Wilson flattening Tim Young. The fans loving every minute of it. Al Seacourt bidding to become the highest Blackhawk goal scorer in history. He tries to surpass the record of 58 goals set by none other than the Golden Jet himself, Bobby Hull.
1-0. Blackhawks. 10:40 to go in the opening period. Eaves back to the defense, and it's played by Mandich from Giles to Ferguson. Long shot wide. O'Callahan back in a battle, and the Hawks get the puck. Lutzig, great pass for Fraser. Giles skating towards him, gets the stick in the way, and the puck deflects into the crowd.
Excellent backhand pass from deep inside the blue line. A passes you don't see too often today. Most players electing to go to their forehands to make that pass, but excellent play by Lutzig. Both he and Larmer make that excellent backhand pass. He set Fraser on his way. Fraser took forever to crank that slap shot up, allowed Giles to get a stick in front of the puck and deflect it high into this huge throng here at the Chicago Stadium, and someone is injured in behind.
So a fan catching a puck in the forehead, walking out under his own power. Most of these fans are going to have trouble walking out under their own power after all the energy they're going to spend here tonight.
Not talking about the Budweiser they'll be knocking back either.
Melange leaves the puck for Giles. Look at the board checking by Lutzig. Now Eaves comes in, and Higgins. Fraser puts on the brakes, dashes into the corner. Not intimidated by Mandich. Eaves ahead to Giles at the center red line. Just shy of it, says the linesman, but no icing. Bannerman getting the puck ahead. Fraser has it. Behind the net for O'Callahan. Up to Higgins. He can't get it out. Giles keeps the puck in, and Beemster digs after it in the corner. He's bumped. Puck still loose. And it's Tim Higgins with a burst of speed. Having the puck lifted by Mandich, who hands it to Lutzig and play a bit ragged. 9:40 remaining first period. Gardner to Beemster. The Hawks up 1-0. Back for Gardner behind him. Here's Velishek. Velishek gets the puck right back. The youngster pressed into duty as Fred Barrett is out for a couple of weeks with a broken finger. Bannerman leaves the puck for Crossman. On defense with Beemster at the moment. Broughton forechecking. This is Patterson. Just gets the puck out. Velishek plays it to Broughton. He and Gardner spin each other around, and Flett shoots the puck right back in. The Hawks now having a little trouble getting out of their own zone. Here's Patterson to Gardner. Marsh on his left. Gardner looking to Marsh in front, and he can't reach the pass. Marsh with 2 North Stars in the corner. Comes back to Crossman, to Patterson. Gardner all alone shoots, and somehow it goes wide. Malash gets back up, and the North Stars dump the puck to center ice. Crossman near his own blue line. Out to Marsh. We've seen some exciting hockey in the first period. Patterson tries to make an unbelievable move and can't quite pull it off. Here's McCarthy trying to stay onside, but he can't, and the whistle stops play with 8:33 to go in the first period. 1-0 Chicago. Dale and I will be there. Hope you'll be with us. A preview of one of the Patrick Division playoff series, the Rangers and the Flyers. Hawks lead this one 1-0. Higgins dumped. Tim Higgins knocked to the ice, and an interference penalty will be called by referee Bruce Hood, who is right on top of every infraction tonight.
I'm sure Hood was told prior to the hockey game, make sure you call everything, be in complete control, and he's called an excellent period. There we see Higgins getting dumped right there by Hartsburg as he tries to get on the North Star defenseman to get onto that loose puck.
11:38, the time of the penalty. The only goal, Chicago getting it. Dennis Savard, the marksman, coming on an earlier power play.
It's been all Chicago in this first period. Malash with some excellent saves. Vanderman yet to really face one tough shot in the whole period. North Stars this year have scored a lot of shorthanded goals. 15, 16 shorthanded goals they've scored. Well, the Blackhawks have only scored 2.
This is Doug Wilson on with Bob Murray, Savard, Secord, and Larmer. Look at Wilson go. In the corner for Savard. He'll come right in front. He fakes, he shoots, and Malash makes the save and smothers the rebound.
Savard with all kinds of time as the puck was like a magnet. 2 of the North Star players chasing Doug Wilson. Savard was left all alone. He had all kinds of time to come out, took his time, and then forgot to put it upstairs as Malash, sprawling to his left, robs Savard of his second goal of the night.
Only a player with the brilliance of Dennis Savard can consistently get that kind of time.
Savard bidding to overtake his point total of last year, has 118 points. Last year, 119 points, an all-time Blackhawk record for most points in one season.
Savard still but 22 years of age. Hawks power play, another minute and 40 seconds. They lead it 1-0. First period here at the stadium. Bob Murray steps into Broughton. And the 2 Hawk players go down, smother the puck, and that'll take the face-off outside the Minnesota zone.
Whenever the opposing team or the offensive team freezes the puck in the offensive zone in a shorthanded situation or even an even strength situation, it's up to the discretion of the referee if it's voluntary. If it's voluntary, the face-off goes outside the blue line in the neutral zone.
Here's Secord, but Malash comes out to whack the puck away. Secord to Savard. Hope checked neatly by Young, but Savard ends up with a puck in the far corner. Look at Savard. Can he do it all alone? Oh, and a great stick save. Savard still has the puck. Tries to stuff it in and can't. He still has the puck. Ladies and gentlemen, an immense task being accomplished by Dennis Savard. And on the rebound, the puck comes back to the right point. One of the most incredible displays of individual ability you'll ever see in the NHL. Right there. 50 seconds to go in the Hawks power play. They lead it 1-0. Wilson knocks the puck down with his skate. Savard diving after the puck, and it goes to Young. He can't clear a blind pass. This is Bob Murray, and off Ferguson, the puck deflects into the crowd. That was an absolutely incredible exhibition by Savard.
Looked like Curly Neal of the Harlem Globetrotters putting on a dribbling display. He had control of the puck for about 45 seconds. That alone is worth the price of admission. Blackhawk fans getting quite a show there by the youngster Savard. Amazing.
1-0 trailing Chicago. Savard, who else got the goal? Wilson to Lysiak. Here's Lysiak into the Minnesota zone. Sutter after the puck, and Mandich beats him to it. Ahead to his teammate Mike Eaves, the former University of Wisconsin star. North Stars playing at a man short, killing time. Greg Hartsburg serving the interference penalty called at 11:38. Now the North Stars changing players. Hartsburg will be back in 5 seconds.